Welcome to the Obvious Podcast, episode number 66. I'm Sonny Macon, CEO at ABC Florida East Coast.
And I'm Peter Daiga, President and CEO at ABC Florida East Coast.
You're listening to the Obvious Podcast, where all opinions expressed are our own, all right, unless we say otherwise.
Love the show? We ask you to subscribe on any major podcast platform or watch us in action on YouTube. Follow the Obvious Podcast on Instagram, X, and True Social, and now on TikTok. All the links you need are in the show notes. And reach out to us anytime at theobvious@abceastflorida.com. And if you're enjoying the ride, help others find us by leaving a review wherever you listen. Happy Friday, son.
Happy Friday. Thanksgiving is over. The leftovers are finished.
Not quite for me.
Not quite. You still have
reaping I'm still reaping the benefits. So,
okay.
What's your favorite leftovers?
Oh man!
My sister made the best turkey soup we've ever had. It was so delicious. Turkey soup, love it. Turkey sandwiches. I had a special request this year. I don't know. I saw something on TV and it reminded me of memories of a open face, like chip beef, chip turkey with gravy on it on an open face sandwich.
Yep.
Had that. Was delicious.
Loves those.
And a new tradition this year for us. You didn't know this was going to be a post-Thanksgiving podcast, but my sister made shepherd's pie with all our leftover mashed potatoes because we had buckets of it. It seemed like leftover.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
Anyway.
So I love, and this is so, everybody in my family thinks it's very pedestrian, but the Campbell's, which is apparently now made with 3D printed chicken. You know, Campbell's, you know the story I'm talking about?
Oh.
One of their executives got recorded complaining about how trashy Campbell's was and it was for poor people.
Oh my God, it sounds like that woman running for Congress in Nashville.
Oh yeah, the one who hates Nashville?
Hates Nashville.
Yeah. Well, this guy hated Campbell's and he's just
Didn't we do an episode on
people who hate run the brands that they hate? Yep, she should have been on there.
The world's gone mad. I mean, literally.
But I love...
But that's the story. I don't know the story.
You don't know the story? Okay.
I mean, he just basically hated...
Well, yeah, he was just talking about how Campbell's is for poor people and it's made with 3D printed chicken. And he has apparently said it enough that a coworker recorded it and it got leaked to the media. And then Campbell's put out a press release.
How did I miss that?
Chicken is not made with 3D print.
Unbelievable. So some of the best recipes ever.
Yeah, like my whole point was the damn green bean casserole with
cream of mushroom.
Cream of mushroom.
Maybe celery. I don't know. All those, make the best.
And I'm not a big fan of green beans, but for some reason in that casserole,
that's a good casserole.
It's so good, right? Oh, and of course mashed potato. You can do anything with mashed potatoes.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? My dad always used to make the joke when I was growing up. He's like, you can go anywhere in the world, you'll find Indians and potatoes. You know? They're everywhere.
Your dad is great. We should have him as a guest. Tell him to list his best jokes.
Seriously, come prepared. It's like Indians and potatoes. You'll go anywhere. Anyway, so today, Thanksgiving was great. So thank you. We're back at work. We hope you had a great Thanksgiving with your family and you're getting ready for Christmas and get your gifts and shopping done. Now, but always remember, Christmas is not about what Santa does. It's about what Jesus did for you.
So that's right. Slow down as the commercials on Fox News and I'm sure other places are, don't let the season
get away from you.
So yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about Venezuela.
Wow. Yeah, the earth certainly hasn't stopped churning.
So we were asked to kind of, a few people, including people in our studios, were curious about our opinion on what's happening in Venezuela. So we figured, it's in the news. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Venezuela because a lot of people don't understand. Well, clearly the younger generation has lost its mind on what socialism is, but, that's a different...
Well, I mean, I'm going to start with my perspective, and certainly the message that I'm getting from the administration is this has nothing to do with anything except for the fact that is a narco state with a dictator, which a year ago or whenever the hell that last quote-unquote election was, pretty much the whole world, even the UN, and if you can get the UN to basically say the election was, right? I mean, that it's really bad,
right.
But pretty much the whole world was, he lost that election by a landslide and yet just, he's still in office. Anyway, there are 1,000,001 reasons, I think, to want him out, to want true democracy to flourish, I think in Venezuela. We've talked a lot in the past, as have a whole lot of other people since 98 or whenever this revolution, happened in Venezuela, when it became if it wasn't it was one of the most richest, prosperous countries in Central and South America.
Yeah.
And in a short 20 years or 25 years, it's now one of the poorest, where you hear stories of, god-awful stories of poverty and whatnot. Any event, to me, the message I've heard loud and clear is this has nothing to do except for the fact that we finally have a president and an administration that is taking the war on drugs seriously. And that country is a narco trafficking country. And we got somebody who wants to put it into it, And the thing that infuriates me the most, because a lot of attention right now is being given to the targeting, the boats and whatnot, and or whatever future targeting may be coming, because it seems to be that's a lot of the messaging right now, that this may escalate from just targeting narco boats on the high seas to narco camps and farms and production facilities on land.
Right.
And honestly, I can't help but think how racist this seems to me. But for my whole life, we would bomb the hell out of anybody in the desert.
Yeah.
And nobody would ever claim war crimes or there was a problem. You don't know their names. Or, there was even, I think somebody came up with an example during the Obama administration, or it was, I don't know, maybe it might have been the Biden administration.
No, it was Obama.
Somebody survived, and they did a second strike to kill whatever survivors there were.
Obama took out a U.S. citizen.
That's right, a whole family. They were like, oops, oh no, it was an innocent family, sorry.
Yeah.
There was no mention of war crimes then. There was no complaining about, how many lawyers have signed off on this or whatever. So, but for some reason, when you got a president that is actually fighting the drug war, there's your first clue, perhaps, right? You actually got somebody who's actually fighting the drug war,
right?
And all of a sudden it's a problem.
Not just living with it, right?
Right.
But the thing with this president is, you've seen the memes, right? He could come out and cure cancer tomorrow, and they'd be like, look at all the doctors he's putting out of business. So it doesn't matter what side he's on. Somebody
they got a name for it, TDS, right? Or no, it's a better name that you came up or told me about. It's not Trump derangement syndrome. It's anyway. Somebody came up with,
So Venezuela has incredible oil reserves, right? Mr. Producer reminded me they were a founding member of OPEC. Still a member of OPEC. Clearly the source of most of its wealth and its history. And then here comes Hugo. Am I saying that right? Hugo Chavez? Hugo Chavez in 1998, right? Starts taking over private property, means of production, destroying the wealthy leave. I have friends who left Venezuela at that time and are now here and ensconced and
who doesn't know? Especially here in South Florida.
Here in South Florida, yeah.
The Venezuelans that have left. So,
and then completely proceeds to destroy the country. Maduro takes over. By the way, I gotta mention this. There's a great picture of Maduro on the internet during a broadcast to the country, where he just kind of stops to take a bite out of an empanada.
I haven't seen it. What is so great about it? Just because it looks ridiculous?
It looks absolutely insane.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And I know he gets made fun of in Venezuela about his weight and the fact that he has to. I'm going to have Mr. Producer
stop a federal or national speech. To take a bite of
We're going to put it up in the.
We'll put it up in the show.
Well.
All right. I look forward. That'll be a good reason for me to listen to this again.
to see that
picture.
So it's, but to your point about
really quite sad. It really is quite sad.
It's sad. People have paid a real price, and the country has been decimated.
And I'd like to spend more time actually talking about that. I don't know what the answer is, but my God, it's frustrated me my whole life, regardless of what part of the world it's in. But boy, it seems to really be problematic in Latin countries. With voting for dictators like in Nicaragua. Bolivia just shed one, I think. They had the socialists, Argentina, of course. Brazil has done it recently.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just tend to have this.
But then you got success stories. Like I read an article recently about in Argentina, the supply of rental apartments had skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because the rent control went away.
Yeah.
And because the supply skyrocketed.
He's turned around like deficits and like in the matter of course of a couple of years, I think, since Meal? Is it
Melee. I'm not sure.
Melee?
How do you say it?
Melee?
Melee.
Melee.
All right. So, I mean, great hair, right?
Right.
Great hair for a world
He's
leader.
the Trump of Argentina.
Yeah. Can you make sure you put up his picture too, and so our audience can see
Get
his
the
hair?
best one with his hair you can possibly find.
Listen, we respect good hair on the show, right? Peter.
So anyway, yeah.
Peter and I have successfully fought off baldness
Well,
in our middle age.
it's a good thing the camera's facing front.
But not the one thing. Okay, let's get back to Venezuela because I do want to talk about this. There is a concern, I think, especially on our side of the political spectrum, because we have seen this country repeatedly fail. When I say this country, I mean the United States of America, repeatedly fail at nation building. Right.
Right.
There is a deep concern that is Trump going to take us on the same path that Bush did in Iraq? That are we going to take out Maduro and then what sort of chaos is going to ensure? Now, I think it's two completely different countries. There seems to be a solid opposition that's in play in Venezuela. I think that lady just won a Nobel Prize.
Right. Yeah. They awarded it to her, and she immediately said Trump deserves this.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't she?
She's a smart lady. She knows. Everybody knows you say good things about him, he'll be good to you. But do we want to go down that path? Do we want to just limit it to the attacks on the narco issue, or do we want to get into taking Maduro out of power? That's the question.
Well, he is the narco issue. He is it.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So I think they're one and the same. And I think this is the message that we can't get away from. And of course, the media is going to do all they can, to make it about oil or to make it about a regime change or to make it about anything other than what it is. Which I believe, you can call me naive if you want, but I believe it's completely 100% about the drug problem in the world and being so close to the U.S. and being such a supplier and being government sponsored. And quite frankly, I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes in the same way with regards to Mexico. I mean, the president there, some people, say she's just in the pocket of the
terrible.
Yeah. So, anyway, we got a similar problem. It's just a little more complex. But I think that's completely what this is about. I think you're right. There's the structure there for, I think, if
replacing the regime,
So, but if he wasn't involved or he was actually fighting narcoterrorism and then actually won a fair election, I don't think this president would give a flip about that country. I think it's unfortunate. Because I think, although he's certainly playing, I think Honduras had an election yesterday or, I don't know, earlier this week. And he was very vocal about, the candidate he supported and was, again, people criticize him for this, but, he was basically saying, if our preferred candidate or his preferred candidate didn't win, you could kiss whatever aid U.S., sorry. You don't just get it for free. He's president of the United States is within his rights to use that kind of influence and power.
Isn't that the whole point of foreign aid, to be able to leverage it?
I mean, you don't think other countries do it in our elections?
Right.
So via social media and other things. So, why can't he say, look, your future is better tied to this person. And if you guys don't make the right decision, you're not getting our support. You're not getting our money.
All right.
And right now it's so close that ththey're doing the whole, this doesn't sound familiar to you or to me or anybody listening or watching or to President Trump. Oh, we're going to do a recount, So because their guy didn't win, their leftist, candidate didn't win in Honduras.
In Honduras?
So, yeah. So anyway, to me, this is completely all about narco-terrorism, and it just infuriates me that you have one side of the political spectrum in this country.
It infuriates me that people still buy into the fact that socialism works, right? I mean, it has failed again and again and again and again, and it's just like.
Yeah. What is one of the values or the, I don't want to say the mission statement, that's a little more precise, but, the values of this organization? It's freedom. It's free markets.
Oh, ABC?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Free markets.
Freedoms and free markets and, freedom for people and employees to be able to freely choose whether to affiliate with a union or not.
Employees and employers.
And employers, it's freedom all the way around. And we believe that people and industry and countries and states and however, are better off organized under those kind of structures. That's why this is important.
The less government interference you have, the better your life will be. It's just, I don't want to make it sound like a libertarian, but that's really where you're at, right? Like, You can have governments manage, armed forces and militaries and things like that, but it's a limited. There's this conversation happening in Florida, especially right now, about property taxes. And every politician's like, well, what services can you do without? I'm like, well, most of them, right? Hey, how much money do you need? Like firefighting, great, all for it. Tax me for that, right?
Yep. But while you do it, make them do other stuff while they're waiting for the fire to break out. Seriously, I love our firefighters, but they we could put them to good use.
Their trucks are
educating, and I know they do a lot of that. But,
oh man, this is gonna get some mail for us.
Ooh.
Putting the firefighters to good use.
While they're waiting for that call.
Right, just make sure you write attention, Peter Daiga, in the subject line. Because I did not say that.
I learned that from my mother, God rest her soul. So, who was a public administrator.
About putting firefighters to good use?
Well, she was a public administrator most of her life. And she, again, we all love our firefighters, but yeah.
I did. I'm not going to tell you what city it was, but I had a city manager for a city located in South Florida, complained to me at lunch about how much money they were having to spend on fire trucks and computers for the fire department. And he's like, you can't say no because, they're heroes. And you say no, you're like, what are you, anti-first responders?
Right. What are you, for fires breaking out everywhere? Not being able to put them out?
These guys.
With all the bells and whistles and,
I was like, man.
It is in other countries. Like, most people know about my connections to Costa Rica, but, it's, we take for granted. Somehow they survive. And I don't think they have a lower life expectancy. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have a higher life expectancy. There's no, maybe I'm getting this wrong. I hope I'm not going to offend my Costa Rican family and friends, but, you got to kind of like subscribe to the Red Cross. Where you pay them a little monthly fee, and so you're now on their radar.
Okay.
So you call them up and you give them your number, and then they'll come out. That's the ambulance service in most, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. It's not like you dial 911. They might send. I assume they would, but in any event, it's it's just tied to the whole firefighter and the new gizmos and gadgets, and you don't necessarily need all that, although I'm sure they could tell us why those things help put out the fires a lot more efficiently.
Right, I'm sure.
But anyway, we love our firefighters, but the point is most administrators would be like, if we could find more efficient use of
3 years for a new truck versus 5 years for a new truck.
I'm sorry. I drove my car for like 10 years. 10 years. Plus, I think. That's
right. But it was a Toyota. It lasted you a long time.
But I'm not putting out fires. How did we? Boy. Okay.
Anyway, back to Venezuela. So, to wrap it up, we support the bombing of the...
Are we going to do another show on the whole war crimes fiasco or whatever that's blowing up right now? Or is that...
yeah, we'll talk about that in a different episode.
Because it's just, again, it's infuriating me. Again, I think the clear message that I've received, that I think the media will very aggressively try to refocus, is about the narco trafficking and the narco state that Venezuela has become, with a leader that's, basically
he's making
money off of it and directing the narco state, and it's ending under this presidency. Now, I don't know who will come behind him, but listen up. You got 3 years of this. It's not going to change.
It's not going to change. And
the media, so I don't know what will come behind, but you got 3 years. This guy, I'm telling you, a lot of people are saying, taking bets. I'm sure Vegas has some kind of odds on when he'll be out. Most people are saying by Christmas. So, and it's not just for being out's sake. He's the ringleader. He's the circus master, or whatever they used to call those people. Maybe that was the ringleader.
The ringleader. You're right.
He's, and that's why he's being targeted. And by the way, he was given an opportunity to go to some great socialist paradise, right? I think, or Islamic paradise, or I don't know what his options were that were given to him, but he was given a few, from my understanding. But he was trying to negotiate. Can I still be head of the army? Can I still have my palace? Can I do, blah, blah, blah. So, nope. As long as you're going to be involved in narco trafficking.
Maybe he'll take a lifetime supply of empanadas.
So anyway.
You can enjoy those. Anyway, please continue to bomb the narco-terrorists. We're not sure about the nation building that might occur, once Maduro's gone, but him and Chavez have been brutal.
It boils down to whether you believe or not what we've been told my whole lifetime about the drug war.
Yeah.
and the harm that drugs have do to people and do to the country. You either really believe that or you don't. If you believe it, it's a war. And instead of giving it lip service, we've got somebody who is actually trying to put an end to it. Yeah. Now, nobody's under any, whatever illusions that it's gonna be easy or it's gonna end overnight. When you're talking about this kind of money and these kind of addictions, it's not going to be easy. But you got somebody who's trying.
But I can tell you, most of them
shut down the border, across Mexico. He's shutting down the number one narco state probably in the region, or number two.
But you really got to go after the manufacturing of fentanyl, and that's all happening in China. And that's the issue.
And he's been doing that too, right? Yeah. That's been a big part of the negotiations and talks and tariffs. I mean, there's a tariff he's imposing right now on China goods precisely because of their lack of response to the fentanyl production. So, in any event, he's waging a all-out war on all fronts, I think, on this. And this is just getting a lot of attention because it's given the left something to hang their, go after Trump's a boogeyman, syndrome.
Well, so we'll do an episode
for freedom-loving people in the world. I think, we, you got to support Commander-in-Chief that's trying to take action against one of the biggest, if not one of the biggest threats to the country that he's the head of. So,
and we kind of say that expression, freedom-loving people, thinking that's most people, but it really isn't. It's interestingly small.
It's a point worth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's unfortunately.
All right.
We are out of time. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of
Venezuela / narco / Thanksgiving / anyway.
Have a great
Thanks
week.
For joining us in this conversation. So.
And we are looking forward to seeing you next Friday. For comments, send us an email at theobvious@abceastflorida.com, and we will see you next Friday.
All right. Ciao.